All right. Oh my goodness. Looks like we got a. Oh my goodness. All right. You know what? Dave Blaze is going to be here. He just got disconnected. So you just get me for now. And oh my goodness, all these people on. All right. My internet's working. All right. We're going to wait for Dave Blaze to come back on. He is missing. So I don't know if his internet is off or whatever. But this is one of this day. And I told these people already on TikTok that see me. We have never done a show quite like this because sometimes we'll just give information and it's great and it's great information. But today we have some really good stuff because we're talking about all this stuff with Iran. So Dave Blaze is not here right now. He was on here. I don't know. He got disconnected and we're going to hopefully he comes back. Now, if he doesn't, I'm just going to talk a little bit and then wait for Dave to come back because some of his points, and this is not, just so you know, this is not like, how can I say this? It wasn't planned this way. I think he's here. Okay, good. Let me double check. Or maybe. He should be here very shortly. All right, let's do this. First of all, one thing I want to say is thank you very much for joining us for this show. One of the things that we have done with this show, again, and I said this many times before, when it comes to this show, what we don't do is we don't say, my sources say this or that. When I say that, what I'm talking about is my sources say, oh, this is going to happen or that. We never do that. However, the things that we have published do come true. If you ever gone to projectlookingglass.org, you could go there, or you could see the articles we write, and who knew, later on they come true. But the thing that we never hear from us, or almost never hear from us, is us saying, okay, the sources we have, and we have sources, tell us A, B, or C. The reason we won't do that, or usually don't do that, is when we have something like this going on, we want to separate ourselves. We give the information, we put the information on our magazine, or we do the show, and later on you'll see it comes up. And that's why so many people follow us. Now, today's show is a little different, and it's interesting because Dave Blaze should have been here. I don't know if he has problems with his internet, but I do know with his internet, what's going on with that is that he had part of that snowstorm that a lot of everyone got hit with. So hopefully he'll be back in a little bit. But it's interesting because some of the things that he has been telling me, and this is Dave, who knew? Like, it's like good stuff. And it's not like crazy stuff. It's just like, hey, this is what he knows because Dave does authentically have contacts. He is an international tech guy before all this stuff. So he knows a lot of stuff. My point about this is hopefully when he comes back in a little bit, if it's after a while and he doesn't, I'll just not go on for a little bit and just talk to you guys. But if he does come on, we have some really good information because these are the things that we were telling you before, but who knew they are starting to come true now. All right. That being said, just want to say hello to all the people right now from TikTok. So you can see us a couple different ways. The TikTok people are still here. The crazy thing, we're talking the TikTok people to Dave Blaze right before, and he got cut off. If I had to guess, he's rebooting his computer. Okay, these are the things that we're going to talk about today. And one of the things that I'm going to talk about is my other show that I have. This show is part of the American Pulse podcast family. This one right here, we go live. On every week, we do a film show. And in that, we're going to talk a lot about things that we're going to talk about today. That is why this show is so important. I know Dave Blaze isn't here, and it's his information that we are talking about. But one of the things I want to talk to you about, and we have a clip from it, is the Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth. All right, here's the thing with him. I don't know where it came from, right? It could have come from the internet. It could come from the left. It could have come from mainstream media. Okay, he is here. This is good. Hold on. Let me get him on the stage.
All right. Let me. Is my microphone all right?
Your microphone is perfect, and everyone was waiting for you to get back.
All right.
Here.
Thank you.
Okay. Let me just finish what I was telling everyone. With this whole thing with Pete Hegseth, we're going to show a clip of him today. One of the things I want to remind everyone, this guy is very, very intelligent. Our Secretary of War went to both Princeton and Harvard. Some people did go to Princeton and they're like, whoa, you went to Princeton. He went to both.
Yep.
So just put that in perspective. Okay.
Yep. And, the left wants to categorize him as being, he's just on TV and he's nothing more than a TV guy. But that is far from the case. Fox News just happened to offer him a lot of money to be on their channels. Right. That's where he was.
It's that whole thing. Oh, Trump is hiring a Fox News host.
Yeah.
Number one, he's been there for a year. How is it that maybe you are just finding out that he went to Princeton and Harvard? By the way, not Yale. But when I say that, because of some of the Bushites, the Bush people, a lot of them went to Yale. All right.
Yeah. So
okay, thank you, Stella.
So let's roll into the first story and we can get going because we got a lot to cover. And I'm
all right. And thank you everyone for sticking around while Dave was working on his computer. Okay, let's just get going. This is the first lead story from the Dispatch, and here we go. All right, Dave Blaze, we're talking about Donald Trump, and he said today, or from yesterday, because it went in the Dispatch, that the operation is to last or can last up to 4 weeks, possibly even more. But it's interesting that time, date, and stamp that he did that with that. You want to start?
Yeah. The other very interesting thing, there were already characters on social media that were saying that this this war with Iran or the striking of Iran will last no more than 3 or 4 days.
Right.
Now, let me explain to people why these people, these MAGA influencers on X, do this. It is to set your expectation level at a certain point, right? And then when the situation, what's going on with Iran, lasts far longer than that, now you're disappointed in Trump. It's like, oh, what is he doing? He's at war with these guys for so long. I thought it was just going to be 4 days. Now it's a month. Now it's 2 months. See what I mean? So, and they've done this right along with everything. Oh, get ready. The EBS is coming up in 10 days. Oh, we're going to have 10 days of darkness. You better stock up on stuff. It's all like a crazy dopamine kind of situation. They're very weird.
Right. And one of the things that you have to remember and you need to watch for when you watch some of these podcasters or MAGA so-called influencers, you'll watch a pattern where their leader, and you can spot the leaders, they'll say something and then not only the bots, but the downlink will also say the same thing. So if someone says, hey, this is only going to last 4 days, 4 days, everyone's 4 days, and then you get into your head, wait a minute, I thought this was going to be 4 days. Donald Trump countered right away and said 4 weeks,
right?
At least. Okay.
Right. And it could be, and frankly, it could be longer. Don't forget, we're taking down a regime that has been in power for 47 years. And then after that, there has to be the setting up of the new government, which we've already got pretty well in place. So that's good. Now, the other thing, let me just make one more point, Gene. What these people are forgetting, well, maybe I'll make this point after the next clip.
Okay. This clip is very important because, and we talked about reasoning why Trump does things a certain way. Okay. I'm going to play this clip because this is what the ex-podcasters, nihilistic ones, the black pillars, have been saying. And watch right away how the Secretary of War counters that. And then Dave's going to tell you something where we're going to plant the flag on what has happened in the past.
Yeah.
No, it sounds confusing, but this one, stick with us on this one. Here we go.
This right now, would there been any concerns about Iranian sleeper cells, and kind of what has the Trump administration been doing to kind of monitor these threats?
Across the interagency, in full coordination, of course, we're paying attention to any potentialities there. This is a former regime, that seeks to export that ideology and try to sow terror. We're ready for that. We've seen these types of folks before, and the American people can rest assured that we're vigilant on that.
Okay. All right. So here's the situation. Before this step on Iran could be taken, very to the left, it was very unpopular, but the president sent ICE out to round up as many. Gene and I have been talking, and we believe, and from the information we have, is that that's what they were doing. They were rounding up members of these alleged sleeper cells and getting them into custody, off the street, and so on. And they were utilizing Palantir to connect the dots, see where everyone was, who's talking to who, all of that communication, and then they were being rounded up to minimize the pushback against our striking Iran.
Right. And once again, remember, what was all the complaint about with ICE? Number one, if Trump knew that this might happen, that we would have to go into Iran, they already said, oh, sleeper cells,
Right.
sleeper cells. And what would be Trump's responsibility to do? To take the sleeper cells off our streets.
Right.
Now, here's the thing. What was the big complaint about ICE? The big complaint about ICE was that they were working in cahoots with the FBI, which
Right.
the FBI doesn't per se have anything to do with illegal immigration unless there were criminal elements in there that they were
Correct.
trying to get off the street.
Right. So this was that operation. That's why the left was so up in arms about it. And it never ceases to amaze me how much the left really hates this country. And that includes a lot of these MAGA influences, not all, but a lot of them that align their talking points with those on the left. So it's
right.
We have a very tenuous situation going on.
If you go to our old videos from American Pulse podcast, the film version, you will see in there where we have talked about specifically and gave you clips how Palantir was used, being used specifically for terrorism. And at the time, you have a lot of people go, oh, you're invading my privacy. You're invading my privacy. Now you realize right now with the threat of these so-called sleeper cells that it might have been a good idea for the FBI, for ICE probably, for Palantir to all be working together to get them off the street. And now the genius of Donald Trump, because it's easy to say now, but what if it was already in operation before then?
Right. And of course, you're going to have crazy people out there. All right. You're going to have crazy people that'll grab a gun and start shooting people because they're mentally ill. And those are very hard to detect. But the actual organizations and the connections between little groups, those have been broken up.
Right. And don't forget, that's what Palantir does for the FBI specifically. They can go in and make the connection of who's talking to who. So if you have one person with another known terrorist, you have them working together and then you can make the connection. And also with that, and I'll just move on to the next story. What is the other option? To say, oh, we as the United States will not do what is right because we're afraid of sleeper cells. So don't wake them up. Don't wake up the sleeper cells. But notice all this stuff with ICE working with the FBI and ICE working with Palantir. All right.
That, and you know, Gene, I'm seeing this more and more from the MAGA influencer network, is that they are propagating this fear porn about sleeper cells now. Everything is sleeper cells. Oh, he's going to wake up. The sleeper cells are going to wake up, and they're going to cause a lot of terrorism and so on. And they're doing that just to spread a lot of fear, so that you won't go out of your house, you won't do whatever you have to do on a daily basis. But many of these people have been picked up and deported, and
right.
That's just the way it was. That had to be done first.
Okay, good. Let's go into the next story, because we're talking about what's going to happen next, and we're going to give you the basically the thought process of what's going to happen. Here we go. Okay, Dave Blaze, the second story that we're covering today. Trump says Iran wants to talk, but who will lead after Khamenei? Here, of course, you know, that's not him, of course, but who will lead after that, because he's already dead.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, okay, so in the past, former presidents on both the Republican and the Democrats would have been negotiating with factions of the regime, and like they did with the Taliban, frankly, with factions of the regime to try and work with them and get the country back. And Trump's not going to do that. This administration is not going to do that. He is not going to leave the opportunity for these lunatics to once again gain power. So their option is complete surrender or certain death. That's it.
Now, keep in mind, the upper echelon has already been taken out. One of the news sources showed from the Supreme Commander and his basically his lieutenant, so to speak, have been taken down. Don't forget, once that happens, you have people on the same level under them that basically say they don't say, "Oh, now you're in control." They might fight each other for who's in command, but the thing is, Trump is probably not even going to deal with any of them, because there's already an opposition party in place, and that's who Trump will probably want to deal with him saying to them, "Hey, this government's yours. We did our part. Now take it back."
Right. And we'll get to more of that in the next story. But this is he's not going to be dealing with any remnants of that regime.
Okay, here's a quick video, Dave, and this is I believe Sky News, which is international, and they have really good content. But even they are confused about who it is, because it's like, are they going to deal with the same regime? And it doesn't look like it. But here's a great video, Dave.
And it's just not clear at the moment. So as long as there's that uncertainty about who actually leads in Iran, and if that leadership is willing to make the compromises that would be necessary to bring about stability and find a diplomatic off-ramp, all of that is a huge question mark. And for the Gulf countries, they don't really have a way of knowing that at the moment. Obviously, diplomacy is the track to make that happen.
No, diplomacy does not work with these people. So if President Trump and the Trump administration, Secretary Rubio and so forth, Jared and Witkoff go in there and they start monkeying around with remnants of that regime, do you know how stupid we're going to look to Saudi Arabia and Qatar and the United Arab Emirates and all of that? We will look, Bahrain, we will look like dopes.
Now, once again, remember what just happened before then. Trump is not dealing with Maduro and the same gang of people. He's saying, "Hey, we got Maduro. You're new. We will work with you, but it has to be pro-United States." So that's what Donald Trump wants. He wants another ally in that area, but he's not going to do it with the hospital.
Absolutely. None of those guys are going to make it. Their whole thing, their option is total surrender and or certain death, and that's it. They're not gonna work with them.
Okay, Dave, if you don't mind, I'm gonna put myself on mute. I just want to say hello to a few of my friends.
Yeah. Go ahead. I got to say hello to everybody here too. Okay. All right. Phil, always good to see you. Beverly, Lorianne, wonderful. Stella, all right. All right. Ginger, always good to see you. Julie's here. That's terrific. The Foggy Hobbit. Good evening. Donna, love it. Great. Thank you for being here. Judith from Indiana. That's, yeah. Okay. Mary Elizabeth, wonderful. Robbie TB, hello. Jeffrey, Alaska Life. Dave said last year it was not going to be an EBS. Listen, you don't want an EBS. You know what an EBS means? It means that society has completely collapsed. You have no food. You have no electricity. You have no running water. You're in the dark. Then you'll get the EBS. You don't want that. People die. It'll be. You don't want that. You don't want that. That is an extreme situation. It's just more fear. All right, Judith is here. Let's see. Who else we get? All right. If now though, don't get mad if I miss anybody. I'm trying to hit everybody. Martin's here. All right. Good to see you. Tamara, Cheryl. All right. If I missed anybody, because Gene's very anxious to get going. He's always
it's okay. I have to.
He's always on the clock unless I need something.
Yeah, said that I can't. Dave Blaze, just let me do this for everyone who hasn't seen it yet. I just want to make sure they know where to get the dispatch.
Yeah.
Because this whole show is based upon that. Here we go. Hey, friends, I want to tell you about the dispatch. Some of you guys already know about this, but you're going to love it. Basically, every weekday morning, you get emailed to you the day's leading stories, curated personally by me, Dave Blaze, and the rest of the George Magazine team. Very simply, it goes into your email. You can browse them very quickly, find out the day's top stories so you can get on with your day. So go to georgemagazine.com. You'll see there the dispatch link in the menu. Sign up, and then every weekday morning before 9:30 Eastern Standard Time, you get this email in your inbox, and you can read it, know what's relevant for today, and get started with your day. All right, so there we go. Dave,
one more thing. We're also going to be covering, and we can talk more about this in a few minutes. We're also going to be updating you guys on Bitcoin.
Yes.
And because there's a lot happening with Bitcoin and the oil markets, and we've got a real inside track here on what's going on. So let's keep going, and we can do it after.
Okay. Like I told everyone, this show is stacked because of the information that you, Dave, knows from your international workings. Okay, here's the next story on the dispatch. All right, Dave Blaze.
From Kansas. All right. I'm sorry.
All right. We're really excited about this because of the America 250. By the way, Putin, I believe it was Putin, I just saw a taunt from Russia saying the United States is only 249 years old. Basically, whatever, that we're not that strong, I guess. But this is a great product that we have. I do have my copy right in front of me, and but I showed that we have the new commercial. Can I show that, Dave?
Yeah, put it up.
All right, guys, watch this. This is 1 minute, and you guys are gonna love it. But this is really proud of this publication. Here we go. 1 minute. America turns 250 years old, and George Magazine is marking the moment with a publication worthy of the milestone. Inside this limited edition, we reveal the true Trump story, told through photographs that document his rise from the very beginning. These are the photos that shape the narrative. Trump's road to the presidency cannot be told fully without them. Many of the images never seen by the public. Some will eventually be donated to the Trump Presidential Library, and you can see them now. Hardcover, museum grade, built to last, a collector's piece designed for America's 250th birthday. Never seen before Trump photographs from Trump's early journey, stunning images of America the Beautiful. Quotes from American presidents, all new pages of hints of what's coming next. Only 1776 copies available, each one signed by me. Once they're gone, they're gone. So get yours today at georgemagazine.com.
And
All
he's
right.
not using an auto pen.
Yes.
Not using an auto pen. He's
I-
sitting there until his arm falls off.
Yes, no auto pen here. Yes. All right. We're really excited about it, and get yours because there's only on these first runs only 1,776 copies there.
All right.
All right.
Now let's segue for a quick second, Gene,
Sure.
because Phil brought up this and XRP when I said that we're going to do a Bitcoin update. But let me explain why we're going to do the Bitcoin.
All right.
All right. So President Trump, the Trump administration first went in and we took out Maduro in Venezuela. And that was after we had quite an embargo on Venezuela receiving or shipping any kind of oil, right? Our embargo actually went all the way to the Indian Ocean, where we seized some ships there. So after we took out Maduro and chased the Russians and the Chinese out, now we have our oil guys in there propping up their oil pumping system, getting the oil to our Texas refineries and so on. Okay, that's step one. Step two, now we go in and we take out the regime in Iran. And ultimately, the Iranian people will control their own oil. But which nation, Gene, was the largest purchaser of Venezuelan and Iranian oil?
Probably have to be China, since Russia is already having their oil.
China is the largest purchaser. Now, remember, Iran had sanctions on them. So when they would sell oil to China, of course, China wasn't going to pay the retail price. So they were getting it at a black market price and utilizing Bitcoin and Tether to purchase the oil from Iran. And that's what was going on. And that's why I believe in an earlier show, we showed you a video clip of that. What do they call it? The Black Fleet, Gene?
Right. Basically, it's the so-called underground network of moving oil to bypass the sanctions that the United States put on them.
Right. So and what ships would do, they'd load up with the oil and then turn off their transponders so they couldn't be tracked. But we tracked them anyway. So now you have, for years and years, China has been able to purchase this well below retail oil as far as price. And that has allowed their economic GDP to grow. Those days are gone.
Right.
So now think about this, folks. They are now having to go to Saudi Arabia and buy the oil. And they're going to have to do it with US dollars.
Right.
Because that's the only way Saudi is going to sell oil to anyone, and that's in exchange for US dollars. And that's why you see the dollar index really climbing.
Right. And go along with that, that's why you also had that big spike, I believe, at one time with the Bitcoin, because they were using that Bitcoin for these I should say illicit sales, but basically sales of these oils, which the United States says was on embargo with that.
Right. They were bypassing the sanctions through the use of cryptocurrencies. Right. So this is what you have to realize is going on right now. So right now, at this moment, the US dollar is the safe haven. That's why we saw the dip even in silver, even though the industrial need for silver is still extremely high and it was undermined and so on. But because the people that purchased silver thinking that, it was a cheaper safe haven than gold, they're finding out that no, investors are running to the dollar because they understand what's going on with the oil market.
Right.
Now, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I want to show what because we do on Facebook the silver report. So I'll just hit it right now.
Right.
So every Monday through Friday, you do the silver report so people know and could track where silver is going. But the interesting thing right now, if you see this, is that the dollar index and the silver is up and the dollar index is up as well. And so you have a phenomenon of sorts going on.
Yeah, it is. It really is. And then the other thing that people have to start realizing is that China's GDP is going to start to shrink because of all the money they're going to have to pay in addition for the oil that they need. And then they're going to have to start they're going to have to start selling off their Bitcoin and selling off their gold in order to buy US dollars to buy their oil.
And again, we have said this before, the United States dollar is the world's reserve currency. That is what all these transactions are based upon. So when the United States puts sanctions on that and say you can't use that, they have to go another route. And one of the routes they were using was Bitcoin or cryptos.
And then, with people, I see this all the time. Oh, the dollar's not backed by anything. The dollar's not backed by it. That's nonsense. Do you think that the United States dollar is the world's reserve currency because we said so? No, it's because every other nation realizes that the entire wealth of this nation is what backs that dollar. It's not just gold. It's gold. It's our silver. It's the oil. It's the manufacturing. It's the mineral. It's everything.
And it is also the military might of the United States of America. So when we go in there, quite frankly, and take care of business fast, it shows how powerful that no one wants to mess with us.
Right.
So
now,
all these
look what happened, Gene. In front of everybody, it's now seen that Russia cannot defend its customers, right? Because Iran was a big customer of Russia's military equipment. They're not coming to their aid. And without any seeming problem whatsoever, we just annihilated all of their equipment. Where the United States and Israel are flying around Iran with uninhibited.
Right. All right. Really quick, guys. On AmericanPulseTV.com, or you can just find it at GeorgeMagazine.com. Once a week, we do a longer show that's filmed, it's not live, where we talk about this stuff, and we'll probably go deeper on all these topics because today it's very deep, especially on a live program to go really that deep into it. Dave, let's just you know what? It's perfect timing. Dave, if you can believe it, my today we're having full of computer problems. I'm stuck on here, but it's all good. We're just going to talk about Newsom. We could talk about it tomorrow.
We'll do it. We'll do it. They don't need to. They know the story. It's in there. How Newsom and Sandy Cortez and who's the other candidate?
He's not a candidate, but I think it talked about Madami. Oh, you know what? I have this. I can do this. Oh,
there they are. So you have Harris, Sandy Cortez, Newsom. Look, what they're trying to say is that Trump is getting us into another Afghanistan or another Vietnam or something to that effect with Iran. But what they're discounting, or maybe they haven't thought of, is that there are millions of people in Iran who still remember the good days before the mullahs took over, right? So they remember how the country was. They are champing at the bit for the nation to be that way again.
Right.
So it's not going to be a long, drawn-out thing. They'll put it together, a coalition government, get something going, have elections.
Yeah.
It'll work out.
Okay. Everyone, thank you for dealing with us as we had a little computer glitch earlier. We have a computer glitch now, but we had a great show. Okay, Dave, to get us out of here, Could you hit that button that says the closing thing? I think it's the last one.
Closing thing.
The last video, I think it says closer. I can't get to it.
Oh, yeah. Hold on a second.
All right. Thank you, guys.
I got these fakakta glasses on and I can't see a gosh darn thing. It doesn't say closer. Oh, outro.
Outro.
Oh, that's close.
Could you hit the outro?
Why didn't you just name it like Mr. Ed or something along those lines? Or Big
How about Dave Press here? Can I do that one? Dave Press. Thanks for checking us out. Don't forget to go to georgemagazine.com and sign up for the Dispatch. It's free. Get the emails and the news stories. And check us out Monday through Friday, 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. You can check us out on Facebook and YouTube. We'll see you then.